everybody to Urban Stories. My name is Alex, and I'm your host for the evening. No, just kidding. um, Urban Stories. I started Urban Stories because I really wanted to talk to people that I admire. Creative people like musicians, painters. Well, anyone that's creative. But the other day I was thinking about the people that are not with us anymore that I would like to talk to too. So I was thinking maybe I should do like a fictive chat with those people and see how that goes. And the first one I would like to invite to Urban Stories is a musician that's been with me for a very long time. I saw him the first time on Swedish television, and that was in black and white. We only had one channel. Yes, that's true. Sometimes we had where I live is very close to Denmark, so we had one Danish channel too, I think. But this was in 1974, I think it was, and I saw this. It was really unusual to for the Swedish television to show, rock and roll concerts. And but this guy, when he walked up on stage on this program, I'm not quite sure if it was. There was a show called a German show called Rock Palace. It might have been that, 1974. And when this guy walked up on stage and started to play guitar, singing, it was fantastic. He was really amazing. And I followed him ever since. And I got my parents to buy me an album. This album is from 1972, and it's a live album. And the guy is Rory Gallagher. And this album is live in Europe. I'm not quite sure if you're Irish watching this. I don't think you say Gallagher, but I do. I'm from Sweden, But this is a great album. I've listened to it a lot. That gig that I saw on the Swedish television, it was amazing. So his guitar playing is fantastic. His singing, his songwriting is great. So unfortunately, or after that, I got my parents to buy me a couple more albums. Then when I started to make money myself, I bought all of his albums. Unfortunately, I had a break-in, and some of those albums got stolen. All the Taste albums, Against the Grain, which I really like that album. I love album covers, and that was like a gatefold with his guitar on the outside, and it was fantastic. And I never got it back, so I kind of missed that one. Photo Finish is gone, but anyway, and on that Photo Finish album, I can't remember what year that was out. Must have been in the 80s, early 80s. He had a drummer on that album and the album after that one, from one of my favorite bands, the sensational Alex Harvey band, and the drummer is Ted McKenna. Amazing drummer, I used to, when I think about him, it's like, uh, you know, I sometimes compare him to Brian Downey, who played drums in Thin Lizzy. It's like running water. Is really, yeah, it's difficult to explain a drummer, but to me it's like, really fluent and bombastic sometimes, but it's great drumming. And I really love those albums that Ted McKenna was on, those two, and he was on the live album that came after those two studio albums. So anyway, and then I had a friend who had a VCR tape recorder. There was another show with Rory on the Swedish television, but I didn't have any VCR and I didn't have a recorder or anything. But I bought a tape, and I got my friend to copy the concert on that tape, so I could, when I finally got the VCR recorder or a player, I could watch that show. Those days, it wasn't like now. You can watch anything on on internet. So, and that's cool. I really love YouTube and to see those old concerts that you didn't have any chance to watch when you were young. Anyway, Urban Stories, it's about talking to the artist. Now you can't talk to Rory Gallagher, unfortunately, but I would like to ask him a couple of questions that I've been thinking about, and I'm going to try to answer them myself. But if you who watch this have any other ideas, because I don't know the answer, if you have any other ideas or any other answers, please let me know. Write a comment about it, and we can, talk about it and see what could be the right answer. I don't know. So let's start with a question. I wonder if he had a hobby, Rory Gallagher. To escape a little bit from touring and recording and all of that music business. And I think that's my answer. I think his hobby was the music too. I think he lived the music. He was, really in love with the music and everything. Everything he did was about music, I think. Doesn't strike me as someone who has, I don't know, collecting stamps or anything like that. Maybe shooting pool or something like that, maybe. But I think music was his hobby and his occupation, and everything he did was music. That's my thoughts. And next question is, I play myself. I've been a musician all my life, and when you're, and I think all musicians or all artists have that dream when they're young and starting out, and to play in a band that you really love. Your favorite bands, like when I grew up, it was Rory Gallagher, and it was difficult to play in his band, but playing Thin Lizzy or Deep Purple or Led Zeppelin, you always have that dream. And I wonder if Rory Gallagher had a dream like that, to play in a favorite band or with a favorite artist. And my answer to that is that I think that he would like to play with, any of those great blues artists like Muddy Waters or Howling Wolf or all those great blues artists. I think he would like to play with those guys. That I think he would like that. That's my answer again. So the next question is what he would think about the music business as it is today. With the streaming and nowadays the vinyl is coming back again, but there's a lot of streaming going on. And I think he wouldn't mind actually. I think his favorite place to be is on stage and touring and playing gigs and play for an audience, and of course selling albums. But I think his greatest thing is playing live, I think. And making albums and writing songs too, of course. But nowadays you can write songs and put out albums on the internet too. So and I don't know, but I wonder if he ever written any kind of music to a specific artist, some other artists, except for his own band, But I don't think so. I think he, not that anyone else had covered his music, but if he written a song especially for some other artist, but I don't think so. I don't know. And another thing I would like to ask him is, I'm looking at that because the album is right there. Kind of talk to him there. And if he had any kind of routine, if he was sitting at home writing music, or how his routine was when he was writing. And I think he did his writing in hotel rooms and tour buses, or I don't think he spent much time at home. I don't think so, but I don't know. So, and on Urban Stories, I always end my conversations with the same 3 questions that I ask my guests. So I call it 3 questions, 10 minutes, because I'm thinking, you have 10 minutes to answer them. So anyway, so the first question is, how's a perfect day for you? And I think a perfect day for Rory Gallagher would be, waking up in the morning on the tour bus or a hotel, breakfast, and hanging a bit, and then go. If he's playing, obviously he's on tour. So hanging in the town that you're supposed to play in the evening, watching the sights and go around a little bit, just hanging, and then play the gig in the evening. I think that's a perfect day for him. And if he has to travel, then he's probably on a plane or something, on a way to a gig. I think that would be a perfect day for Rory Gallagher. And the next question is, how do you see yourself a year from now? And I think that would be the same answer as question 1. he would probably be on tour. And the third question is a question that's not really. There's no answer to it actually, I don't think there's a good answer to it. But it's something I've been thinking about myself. Where do you get your? Where did you find your? Why did you become an artist? What made you become an artist and the artist you are? What made you be a guitar player and a singer? How come that you're not wanting to paint? Why didn't you want to be a, I don't know, football player or something like that? What made you be? What was it that made you be a musician? I don't know. It's difficult. I've been thinking about myself. If why did I start to play guitar? Why did I love music? Or why do I love music? Or it's impossible to answer. But I think it's the environment that you grow up in. Even if my parents didn't play anything, but my brother is 5 years older than me. He brought home, albums and music, and he was always, playing the vinyl player. And I think that started my ambition to be a musician. So maybe that was the same thing about Rory Gallagher. It's a tricky question. But here we are, the end of Rory Gallagher chat. So, and if you have any ideas about any other answers than mine, so you're welcome to write a comment about it. And if you like urban stories, please subscribe, and that will be cool. Okay, thank you very much for watching, and I hope to see you next time. All right, bye.